The crime surge in America showing no signs of slowing down, and so far there is mostly silence from Democrats and the media. Armed left-wing activists stormed and tried to take over a hotel in Olympia, Washington, and turn it into a homeless shelter. Criminals apparently have no fear in New York City. A Chanel store got robbed in broad daylight. 4 crooks made off with designer bags worth more than $160,000, and so far, no arrests have been made. Greg, this is the same neighborhood where store after store was looted last year during the rioting.
It's been ongoing. I mean, I live down there. There's looting going on continuously. I'm not saying like every day, but once every couple of weeks, a store gets hit. There's a great piece in the New York Post by Paula Froelich in which she interviewed store employees in New York City that were plagued by this. And the employers say that when they approach the looters, one thug will normally whip out their phone and start taping, and another will accuse them of racism. So, and the store owners are terrified more of the online mob destroying their reputation than the people who steal $50,000 in merchandise, which is what usually happens. So here again, it shows you how bad people can exploit the flaws of a liberal system. We live in a time where you are expected to freeze when someone shouts racist. And if you don't want to be branded a bigot, you do freeze. So as long as we have countless race baiters in the media continuing this practice of smearing innocent people, it's going to allow cover for all sorts of crime. And we cannot forget, that all of these cities were boarded up. They were boarded up a week before the election, not in case Biden won, but in case Trump won. So never forget that.
I want to take responsibility because I think there's some people on the left who are crazy, like what's going on in Olympia, Washington with that hotel. So
domestic terrorism.
Yes, there's some people who are acting bad.
From the left.
No, and that's not my words. That's the mayor.
Right.
But I'm saying the most dangerous crime right now in the U.S. is what we saw at the Capitol on January 6th. I mean, armed insurrection. I'm talking about conspiracy theories, false claims of a stolen election, calling for a violent overthrow of the government. And this is ongoing. The FBI says that's the most critical crime right now, threat of crime in the United States of America.
So nice you care about crime now,
the U.S.
Juan.
military, military is now calling for a stand down to root out violent extremists and white supremacists right now, Dagan. That's a real crime threat being dealt with by our military.
All lies.
Jesse, if it's domestic terrorism out in Olympia, Washington, and they're from the left, an insurrection by definition is a violent uprising against an authority or government. That was what was going on in Portland and out west and all of our major cities all last year. And now, we're worried about one insurrection in D.C.
Yeah, the media is slick. They'll just hide a crime surge, and they'll only cover what they consider political crime by Republicans. They'll cover hate crimes or hate crime hoaxes, tabloid crimes. But when their gun starts shooting and people's homes and their business are burned, they say that's mostly peaceful. But Americans who watch the local news, turn it on at 6 o'clock. What do they say?
Yep.
If it bleeds, it leads. You're going to see that in every major metropolitan area. Hatchet attack. 15 dead in bloody Chicago weekend. You can't ignore that. If you live in a city in this country, you can feel that the quality of life has changed. Your survival instincts are there. You have your head on a swivel. Maybe you bought a gun. Maybe you left the city and moved, because people have moved. And the mainstream media, if they downplay criminal activity, they're putting other people in danger. It does them a disservice because everybody wants to be able to protect themselves. And if you say everything's honky-dory and it's not, that's not good.